Sadr City for bringing Tony to us, and Levon behind the camera. Christy and John, our IT people who did some emergency technical work for us this morning before they left, and Doris Strand, our public relations officer for our campus, for doing some publicity. And also would like to invite forward Melanie Rupp and Deb Spencer, who have a few words for Tony. And we'll take questions and answers. Yes.
Label on the back. Yeah. Read later.
Wow.
So we've been snuggling this sometimes.
Take these with us. Questions? All right, y'all free to go or stay on?
I have one. Do you have a publisher for your book?
Huh?
Do you have a publisher for your book?
Yes, it'll be out December 15th, unless they do something else. So, yeah.
What's your MLS?
It's 11 Bravo. It was 18 Charlie, and then, like you said, like to get in some trouble. So, 18 Charlie is a special forces engineer. It's where we do all that household chemical blowing up things. And so I got kicked back to regular line unit, and that's why I just kept the regular infantry job. Good stuff.
When did you say your book was coming out?
December 15th.
How was your, not relation, but like how well did you get along with like the people there? Not necessarily like military, but like civilians or whatever?
It's very good you asked that. Wrote a lot about that because our particular neighborhood, it wasn't just like we were assigned to defend them. They were doctors and lawyers, and they had right outside what we called COP Ford, was Combat Outpost Ford. And it was an old bath party with Saddam's boys, a little torture center. So you go in there and see like hooks on the wall, and like, yeah, that's their home, great. Well, outside of it was this all-girls school, or all little kindergartners and stuff, and they had been kidnappings and everything. Well, this was a good neighborhood, and we actually believed in these people. They had wanted to make a difference for their country and their community. And for them, we're ever grateful. We still keep in touch with some of them. However, some of the other communities, not so much. So,
I have a question.
yes?
He said that you trained for the Marines first. Why'd you go to Army?
My family is ticked when I went to the Army, man. Well, what happened is in the Marines, long story short, as I started out, we did the Maritime Special Purpose Force, where we did a lot of training with Navy SEALs. We did a mission called BBSS, which is a visit board search and seizure. It's where you get in a helicopter, you fast rope onto a ship, and then you go clear the ship looking for pirates and bad guys. Well, then that brought me to the 2nd Recon Battalion. Recon was great, but the problem I always have with people is everyone there, and I'm going to try and say this as nice as I can, they were really cocky. Like, if you didn't have this badge, you didn't get your Cub Scout badge, then you weren't this. So you had to go to a scuba school. Well, if you didn't do this school, then you weren't nothing. So I learned a lot, and I stayed in there and did the schools, but the problem was the mentality of people was if you don't have this club patch, you're nothing. And I'm like, my mentality with my soldiers is pretty much summed up. If you treat all people with respect, first of all, it doesn't matter who they are, because you never know what you're going to learn from somebody. Secondly, my soldiers, I always treated them like family. If they screwed up, you discipline them, but you don't talk down to them. You never do that to anyone, because the minute, in my eyes, that you disrespect anyone, you lose an opportunity to either learn or gain something that can totally change your life. So why take that attitude? When I left the Marines, a lot of people mad. Went to the Army, the career I looked for Special Forces. Heard about the Green Berets, started reading up on them. So we trained trained for 3 years doing all that stuff, and it was good. And they weren't as bad as recon. The training was invaluable, so we had some Delta Force instructors. So I figured with all the seeing what the SEALs do, seeing what Delta Force does, those are the cool guys. However, you gotta pretty much sign your soul to get into it. And everything else, I found my home back at Fort Carson, just a regular unit where I could actually do regular things and live a normal lifetime. You know, it's not like you gotta always meet an expectation. I figure, see all other things, self-esteem and self-pride a little bit. If you are who you are and somebody doesn't accept you or like it, somebody at the door, man. Just don't change for people. Be who you want to be. I mean, I get a lot of crap for that, but my guys were really loyal to me for that one fact, because I didn't treat them like there was somebody below me. And that's where I think if you just create the family at your school, you know, your work, create things like a family atmosphere, you're going to get so much out of it. Yes?
2 questions.
Yes.
You said you would go and work and then come home or come back, watch movies, go to the gym,
Right.
go to sleep. How many hours a day were you actually in combat?
It was 12-hour shifts, 12 on, 12 off. So if you sleep 8 hours a day, it gives you 4 hours of workout. I mean, honestly, as exhausted as you are, if you come, it's weird because you take that gear off and you just wait around for a little bit. It's like you got this whole new sense of energy. And you just go do a good workout. And then, like Blake was a bodybuilder, so you always have this program, work your, always learns from it. So cool. Work your chest and tries and your back and biceps. Don't ever work both because it's 70% muscle, it's 30% muscle. When you work, you're working the same muscle at the same time. So actually, anyway, I don't know why I'm rambling about that. It's my education. But, yeah, that's what happened. Yes, ma'am. Oh, second question. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
Do you plan on staying in the Army for a career?
Undecided. I'll see what the future brings and see where I'm going. The Army was actually talking, when I talked to the USO yesterday at the airport, a lot of interest. Disney and some other companies have gained interest in the book because it's like the money's going to the family type thing. The Army is talking about just letting me get out and just go promote the book everywhere. So if they let me do that, I'll take a whole new career. Just got to see where it's going right now. So, yeah.
One of the soldiers said that he felt, he was from this area, and he felt like the vehicles that they had in some of their protection wasn't very good. He had vehicles that they had to put a lot of plywood on just to make it bulletproof. And
Yeah, we did that. In the invasion, when we first entered, and I understand it's a funding issue. And you'd be surprised there's a funding issue in Iraq. Where that money goes isn't where it's supposed to. I'm not going to say that on record. And, anyway, what happens is we would, in order to, IED blast comes from the ground or something like that, you have to put plywood, sandbags, whatever you could to make that buffer. You knew you're going to get hit, so just take it as you can. That did happen a lot. They are constantly trying to get rid of that problem, especially now the transition from Iraq to Afghanistan. They're probably having better supplied over there. The problem with Afghanistan, and I'll go on record any day, is we won Iraq. Just to be sure about Afghanistan, I know the Persian culture day in, day out, and those people know how to fight. They know how to drag on a battle like they did with the Soviets. They're going to wear us down economically like they are. And I have a lot of higher commanders agree with that, and it's just people butt heads right now. I wouldn't mind going there, but yeah, not staying around for a while. So.